must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Thank you so much for watching us today. It is the 7th of June 2021. I trust that you had a good weekend. My name is Miriam Ogoto and the show is Good Morning Africa, and here we shall be looking at the news-making headlines focused on Kenya as we go through the leading papers here, the Daily Nation, the Standard, and also the Star, a newspaper. So joining me on the panel this morning is Douglas Kirimi, all the way from Meru County. Douglas, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, and also to my friend Oresasina Tawish, and also to our viewers across the world. Good morning, and thank you for having me on the show, Miriam. Thank you.
All right, very well. And we do also have Samuel Tawish from Nairobi, our in-house journalist, who last week did a good job of bringing us the latest from the lakeside city in Kisumu. Tawish, a very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Miriam, and my colleague panelist, Douglas Kirimi, and everyone who is watching us. Indeed, it's a bright Monday at the heart of Kenya's capital in Nairobi. And just like you've alluded, of course, I was in Kisumu the other week trying to bring you the live events when President Uhuru Kenyatta was launching developmental projects in Kisumu and, of course, the Madaraka Day celebrations. That aside, of course, we are here again to try and see what is making headlines in our country today.
Okay, thank you so much. And as we wait for the rest to join, I see Chivan and the rest are trying to join. So once they're here, we will have them in. But let me just read through quickly the newspapers this morning, the headlines on the Daily Nation. The main headline there says, "Row over scheme to delay 2022 polls." Proponents of the Building Bridges initiative insist that a referendum must be held before the country goes to the elections. But politicians allied to Deputy President William Ruto see this as a ploy to extend the life of Parliament and vow to resist it. And the story is on page 4. And also just beside that, why Miguna could come home soon. The courts have once again cleared the way for lawyer Miguna's return to Kenya after a 3-judge bench dismissed the government's request to suspend execution of an order that quashed his deportation to Canada. All right. And then the Standard newspaper, the main headline, handshake goodies, split trailers, allies, mega projects unleashed in Nyanza have put trailer partners in NASA, Mudavadi, Kalonzo and Wetangula under pressure to deliver the presidency so that their regions can also benefit. All right, and the Star newspaper, the main headline, Muturi dares opponents to kick him out. Coup plotters promise rewards support for one of the minorities on for lucrative position. So that is what is on the headline there. So I think we'll just start with that headline on the Star newspaper this morning on Speaker Muturi. Now, a fresh plot is being hatched to remove National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, whose recent installation as Mount Kenya spokesperson unsettled a number of politicians from Central. Insiders privy to the plans, which pro-Muturi MPs believe will be a tall order, are said to be reaching out to many of their colleagues, especially from the minority side, to join the push. The coup plotters are promising rewards and support for one of the minorities on for the lucrative position. Some anti-Muturi lawmakers have been holding meetings in the home of a governor from Central Kenya, where the plans on how to force him out are being discussed. Our proposal is to let the opposition propose a name for the replacement speaker. If the plan succeeds, yesterday Muturi appeared and moved and fired at his critics, daring them to bring it on. I'll start with you, Douglas Kirimi. This coronation seems to have startled some waters there in Central that now has threatened to split this region.
Thank you, Miriam. And I have two perspectives on that. The people that want to kick out Muturi and also the coronation, the misfortunes of the coronation that happened in Mount Kenya region against the Speaker Justin Muturi. I am privy to information that the Speaker Justin Muturi is working with the Deputy President to destabilize the government and all that. And from that perspective, I would want Muturi to be kicked out in the morning out of the National Assembly seat, because if Muturi is working with Tanga Tanga and working with William Ruto to destabilize the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta, we would like to kick out Muturi in as much as he has done a good job as the National Speaker of the National Assembly. A time has come for us to discard everyone that is against President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Big Four agenda. Because, Miriam, we cannot afford shenanigans who are paid by William Ruto from Karen, and Muturi is one of them. I have never doubted the former governor of Meru, the current agriculture CS, Peter Munya, when he accused Muturi of being used as a surrogate by William Ruto. So, Miriam, if Muturi is a surrogate of William Ruto, who goes for handouts in Karen to destabilize the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta, I have no alternative rather than to ask the President and the National Assembly to kick out Muturi and send him home, because we cannot afford a William Ruto person in National Assembly today, because the government agenda, this is the year of legacy. This is the last year of your legacy. That's why we are seeing the president launching roads everywhere. And Miriam, I can tell you for free that in the last year of legacy, we don't need a surrogate of William Ruto in the National Assembly. We don't need any man that subscribes to William Ruto kind of politics, divisive and also cunning and scheming kind of politics.
Right.
Anyone scheming against President Uhuru Kenyatta, including his former Harai Speaker Justin Muturi, known as JB. JB should be kicked out immediately if he is working with William Ruto. Okay. If the National Intelligence Services have given the president a report that this man is working with William Ruto, he should be kicked by tomorrow morning so that we can debate on the next Speaker of the National Assembly. On the issue of coronation, if it is the coronation that is making Muturi to be kicked out as the Speaker of National Assembly, we cannot be able to rule out him kicking out because of being coronated as spokesperson of the Mount Kenya region. Anyone plotting to kick out Speaker Justin Muturi as a Speaker of National Assembly because he was coronated as a spokesperson of the Mount Kenya region is daydreaming, and also does not wish us, the people of Mount Kenya East, well. So if Muturi, these are my two perspectives.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'll come back to you. Thank you so much. Dr. Matanga has joined us also this morning. Doctor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Douglas. How are you, Miriam?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, Douglas is spitting fire very early in the morning. Thank you very much, all of you. Thanks. And I'm happy to listen, and I have come specifically for the topic of the executive and the ceremonial presidency. So I will listen through, but I predicted this. About 1 week ago, Tawish and Javan Karanja and Douglas always follow me on Facebook. I told you after the ruling of the president of the court, what did I say? It is a blessing in disguise, or it is a disguise that has brought, is a blessing actually in disguise. The ruling gave time, as you will come on the second. I don't know whether you have reached that topic.
It's okay. It's part of the conversation. It's fine. We can have it.
Look, I told you, you ruled very well that you want to stop BBI, isn't it? So if you stop BBI, how are you going to conduct the elections? How? Already on television, on radio stations in the Rift Valley, Amo is sounding very alarming. You have heard it yourselves. Alarming situation of this, of that. How will you conduct these Kenyan elections? I told you, the judges might have been praised as heroes and a heroine. But this is a move that now gives the government, that now that a country like Uganda that has been doing very well on COVID-19, but because of elections, Uganda has closed its borders, partially locked it down. Miriam, for 42 days, no movement in, no movement out. The pandemic has come and struck Uganda again. So, if the pandemic strikes Uganda because of an election 3 months ago or 4 months ago, what can stop Kenya from being struck by an election with the type of behavior of politicians we have here? We go to Kisumu and agree, we pass through the crowd. Ruto goes and reaches the crowd and stands out of the car. The type of politicians we have now, how will this pandemic leave this nation? And a sensible government looking at the comparative situation across in Uganda. Uganda had managed the pandemic so well, but now Uganda has a problem. The pandemic, the hospitals are now full. I'm telling you, I have my nephews in hospital, 7 of them. The people became careless. Because of elections, people went on running around Bob Wine. Oh, Bob Wine. He's safe, but they are not safe now. They went around running around Museveni. He's safe, they are not safe now. Which country in Africa can allow its people whose manners are perennial wrongdoers, perennial, as far as election is concerned, Miriam, perennial. Tell me one politician here in Kenya who is going to observe the protocols. Ruto reaches Kondeli, intentionally stands to see. Then he says he's liked by the people of Luoland in Kisumu. He blocks the whole convoy because they say the convoy of the president went. He didn't see how the president shot through the crowd without standing. He decided now to block the rest because the second convoy that was leaving was the convoy of the deputy president. You know, after the president of Burundi. Miriam, these are tactics, tricks. A trickster is always a trickster. He knows that once he stands, people will now come to the car. So the Raila's convoy, the Kalonzo, all these candidates of 2022, their convoys were held in now the pandemic. Police was forced to tear gas. So you tell me which government is not going to extend, is not going to cancel these elections. And above all, I want to tell you, the basic structure of the Constitution, the article upon which elections stand, is not the basic structure. Sindio Bwana Karanja is not the basic structure. I want, look at it. Tawish and others, look at it. Here, look at it's not the basic structure. It is not the article you have to go to referendum. It's an article that will use executive powers and ask Parliament to extend for 1 year, 6 months, chaff, and that is where we are heading, Miriam, to chaff. Then chaff, if Ruto has more money, spend, but we are heading there. I'm now simply telling you, we are heading there. Don't you see the signs in the sky? Kenya cannot hold an election 2022. Forget it. Where will you hold an election? With who? You have to do the boundaries. You have to do them. The referendum will pass. There are good things in the referendum that Kenyans wouldn't like to throw it out. You throw it out and you still continue to get 10%, 15% of the money in the countryside. Who wants that? There are good things in the referendum that are very good. Students, tax relief, 7 years. Which youth wants to throw 7 years in the Karanja with a nice suit, another suit is getting better, and you want him to throw out that chance? Karanja, can you do that? You are getting better a daily with no tax to pay for 7 years. Now you want to hate Uhuru Kenyatta for giving you the little you get, you are not even taxed. So unataka nini? Unataka nini? Kirimi is even vying, going to vie. He's harassing me to vie in a constituency somewhere in Meru. Isn't it so Kirimi? And that's why you are getting annoyed with me. I'm telling you to hold on. Because I don't have enough resources to fund you now. You just give me time. You strike at the right time. You look at those things. And you are tax-free. Miriam, you are tax-free. And a younger person is tax-free. Who is going to refuse the referendum? More so when it brings peace. Who? If Raila and Uhuru join hands, walaya Mungu, wachana, keep quiet. Ikitu itaingia. Muturi ako na shida. That's what you are talking about. Mount Kenya East, it came when? Yesterday again, you have now, I was teaching you to be a nationalist. Now you have become a man again of East-West. What is the problem again, my dear son? You have become a man of East-West. Mount Kenya East, that we shall be annoyed. Now, I want to ask Miriam one question, quietly to Kirimi. A man proclaims himself a king in terms of culture. And then you come to be in a crowd where others are not kings, but they have their kings. They can as well also become kings. So how do you control that crowd? Members of parliament will stand up and say, we don't know whether to address you as the king of Mount Kenya East or Mr. Speaker, sir. So such jokes bring dishonor to the chair. That's emotion enough. Miriam, you see the dishonor that they think you were speaker, supposed to be neutral, but now you have fallen a victim of tribal malcontency, which is culture. It's not a malcontency, it's culture. But you decide on the two things. Either you become the king of the tribe and speak on behalf of the tribe. But you cannot come now again pretend to be a national figure controlling people who have left those ambitions. You think if Raila wanted to crown himself as a Luo king, don't you think 200? No, honestly, there will be all African heads of state will arrive at Kisumu to crown Raila. Yeah, yes. No, anybody. You look at me. I come from the clan of Bakuka. The last Umukuka of my tribe died about 2 months ago. Bob Mushikori is my brother. We are supposed to be the ones to lead all these Bagisu, including Luyas. They can't do anything without us. Because we can only clap like this, and their children will start counting trees on the roads in Mumias, in Vihiga, in Butere. Yes. Yes. Don't you see that kingship in me? You know, we can do like this. And then if people can start knocking their heads on cars, you know, that's why you see Atwoli will never criticize Matanga. Because Atwoli knows Matanga comes from the clan that is full of the real original Obama Sava. But now if I want to go to that level, I don't again go to Uganda politics and say I want now also to become the Prime Minister of Uganda. People will ask me, which one do you want, this way or that way? And Anakuuliza namna hivyo, what will you say? This way. And I go to a smallest tribe when I need national interest. No. So I believe there was a miscalculation there. It should have been done, and done maybe quietly, but not speaker. The speaker was chosen from a neutral ground. But the way, as Kirimi is saying, the speaker seemed to be gravitating towards the deputy president. Because I've seen him and Mbarire talking very ill of the president. The president was being talked ill of in his presence. I don't know whether it is a decoy. If it is a decoy, fine. But there are people I don't like from that area. That Mbarire, I don't like her. Even when she was fighting so hard to come to parliament. Some of us, Naume Shaban, she came to cry in Intercontinental. Then Naume Shaban picked a phone to tell somebody. I think it must have been someone of the highest level. I don't want to say it on here. That is when she was appointed an MP. I'm telling you. But look at what she has done. She has come back to backstab the president. But it's okay. Time will tell. Either the Miriam, this is heading to a postponement
of an election.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't see an election. I don't see the election being conducted in 2022. If you want to conduct an election in 2022, start reading the books of the Waterloo Battle. You remember the Battle of Waterloo by Napoleon? You know how many people died there? The way the tanks are, people will fight. And then nobody wants a repeat of 2007. Miriam, I submit.
Okay, thank you so much. So the story that we're looking at, and of course part of the conversation we're having this morning, the headline on the Star newspaper, Muturi dares opponents to kick him out. And I'll just read a bit of it. Now, Belgood Member of Parliament Nelson Koech said the plot to kick out Muturi is being orchestrated by Jubilee's Keleweke faction, both inside and out of Parliament. He said allies of Deputy President William Ruto will not support plans to remove Muturi, the third in command who is now serving his second and final term. So the people, Tanga members of Parliament, are saying they will not be supporting the removal of Justin Muturi, as some will wish, by the Speaker of National Assembly going through that coronation, as Doctor has told us there, might compromise his. Now people are looking at him differently.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Miriam, and of course, Dr. Masanga and Javan Karanja, who have just joined. And for the submissions that my other panelists have made on this particular topic. Miriam, it is true that what the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, is doing does not augur well, even with the tradition, the African tradition. We have a head of state who is our president, of course, a person who is a leader, not only in Mount Kenya, a person whom every Kenyan is actually looking up to, especially on the aspect of leadership. That is President Uhuru Kenyatta. And here you have yet another individual who is coronating himself, who wants to create another center of power. I think that is very, very unfortunate. This attempt to create another center of power was actually primarily was done by Deputy President William Ruto himself. He thought maybe he was a co-president of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But as things stand out today, I mean, everything is not on his side. The wind is not blowing to his favor. And therefore, if Muturi thinks maybe because President Uhuru Kenyatta is serving his second and last term in office as president, that maybe it is an opportunity for them to try and wrestle that leadership mantle from him, then he should be daydreaming. I'm saying he will be daydreaming because President Uhuru Kenyatta, even if he was to leave office today, even if he was to leave power today, he still will remain the leader of the Mount Kenya people, and by extension, the leader of this nation. It does not necessarily mean that he has to be in power. He has to be the president for him to be the leader of Mount Kenya. I do not think that is the way to go. And Speaker Justin Muturi did not actually do the right thing. And that's why you see now it is coming back to haunt him. Barely, I think, was it 2 or so weeks ago when he did this coronation? It's now coming back to haunt him, now with members of parliament saying it looks like there's competing interests, there's conflict of interest here. You are a speaker of the National Assembly, of the Republic of Kenya, not of a county assembly, for heaven's sake. And you're going to crown yourself as a spokesperson or as a leader of a particular region at a time when we have President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is still actually leading this country, Miriam. Even in the traditions we come from, even in the communities we come from, Miriam, it is not even imaginable for you to think of inheriting your father when you're still alive. I mean, you have to wait until when you are given this inheritance. It is never possible. I've never heard it anywhere. So what Muturi is doing, I think, is akin to actually constituting a coup against not only the Mount Kenya people, but against President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is his party leader, who is actually the head of the executive, who is the head of government in this republic, Miriam. So I will support any calls, any initiative to have him actually being removed from office, because again, he may no longer be serving the interest of the National Assembly. He may not be serving the interest of the people of Kenya who have entrusted him with that opportunity to serve as the Speaker of the National Assembly. And he may not at long last be serving the interest of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember, Justin Muturi as the Speaker was sponsored by Jubilee Party. He was voted into that position by virtue of President Uhuru Kenyatta. It was out of the President Uhuru Kenyatta's courtesy. It was not about him. That is why you see sometimes. Yes,
Tawish, just a moment, and it's good you brought that up. So I was just thinking, would you think Muturi would have gone ahead, the Speaker would have gone ahead with that coronation ceremony if the head of state did not know, because he's enjoying that position of, courtesy of the Jubilee
Miriam,
Party?
it is possible. It is possible that Muturi could as well do this without the blessings of President Uhuru Kenyatta, because you've seen most of these people who are allies or people who have been close to President Uhuru Kenyatta have actually taken for a ride a gentleman that is President Uhuru Kenyatta. Is a man who is not confrontational when it comes to addressing issues, and that is why you see he left it just to happen. Perhaps I want to assume maybe he did this out of. He did this without the knowledge or attention of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Only that for President Uhuru Kenyatta, he's not a kind of a guy. He's not as combative as other people. Like you saw what happened, for example, in Rift Valley. Did you see what happened in Nandi? There's one leader who went there to be blessed or coronated or to be prayed by the Nandi elders. And what happened? I mean, he was blocked because the other guy who perceives himself as the kingpin of Rift Valley or Kalenjin community, to say the least, did not want it to happen. But you see, for President Uhuru Kenyatta, he doesn't really care. He cares because he cares about how he can deliver for the entire population of Kenya, how he can deliver for every part of this country, and not necessarily about the small infights, especially in the Mount Kenya region. And that is why you see he may not have given much attention. Right. But I want to say this, Miriam. We need to look into the motive with which even Tanga are quickly coming out to dismiss an attempt to impeach or remove from office Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi. What kind of motive do they have? What is it that they are trying to protect? And that is why you see some of our panelists here insinuating that perhaps Speaker Muturi could be working with Deputy President William Ruto to try and undermine and scuttle, of course, President Uhuru Kenyatta, especially even as we go on to next year's election. Miriam, maybe if you allow me the latitude to comment on something about the postponement of the election, and I think Dr. Masanga has largely touched on it. If at all it will be necessary, if at all there's reason for us to extend or not to have elections next year, so be it. I think, Miriam, the lives of the people really matter more than any other thing. Because again, when you talk about the COVID-19, if doing campaigns, moving around for political gatherings is going to escalate matters, it's going to see as maybe more people get infected out of this COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. So I will support calls really to postpone the election until when we feel that it's the right time, right in the sense that maybe we have tried to reduce this curve of the COVID-19 pandemic. I submit, Miriam.
Okay. You don't think we will have had herd immunity? by then. All right, so there's a story just in line with what we are talking about before we get into the main story that we're supposed to be discussing this morning. From yesterday's Sunday Nation, we did not get to look at it, but it connects with what we're talking about right now. Ruto plans coronation in church, Deputy President camp on the Sunday Nation yesterday. Deputy President's camp plans to coronate him in churches as the Mount Kenya preferred presidential candidate to counter recent installations of National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi. And I think I read part of that story yesterday, and they're saying, forget those who went to the cave, us will just do it in church, something like that. Jevan Karanja.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miriam, and good morning to our viewers and my fellow panelists. Thanks for the topic that you're discussing this morning. For me, I'll indulge direct to the matter and say that to me, the coronation of Muturi is not merely because he supports the deputy president or whether he disrespects the president, but these are calls that are coming from a region calling itself now Mount Kenya region. These people calling themselves Mount Kenya region, led by Kiraitu Murungi, the governor of Meru, led by some other guys, Miriam, they want to distance themselves from the larger Mount Kenya region, and that is the central Kikuyu-speaking Mount Kenya residents. Therefore, Miriam, this is a well calculated move, because I also saw Kiraitu Murungi saying that he will revive his bus, and that means that he will revive his original political party that has a symbol of bus. Therefore, when you look at this issue, these guys are working in a calculated move to ensure that they will have a negotiating power without relying on the people of the central Mount Kenya region. That to me is what I see in this politics. Therefore, at the end of the day, they have the latitude to support whichever political alignment they feel like it fits them as the people of Mount Kenya region, Mount Kenya East region. Therefore, that is a community affair. Therefore, to me, I didn't see the need for them to come in the central Mount Kenya region to coronate Speaker Justin Muturi at Muranga, that is Mukuru wa Nyagathanga, where the original Kikuyus descended from. Therefore, when you look at this issue, Miriam, and that is why you see the likes of Mwangi wa Iria, Anne Waiguru, Lee Kinyanjui, and these guys from this other side, they are not in that coronation because they feel like these guys want to distance themselves from this other group. Therefore, if it's about that, Miriam, I'll say that the time is right. Let people have their own ways, because at the end of the day, nobody is holding the other one. And that is exactly what Speaker of the National Assembly said, that also in their region, they have men who have been sided by women, like other people in a central region. Therefore, this is a welfare. Okay. And when you look at it, you heard also Douglas saying that is about Mount Kenya East and the Mount Kenya West, Miriam. Therefore, this is just the beginning of an end of a relationship that we had as a Gema, and it is coming and at the fullness of time, Miriam, this will be realized. Therefore, whether Muturi supports the deputy president or not, this is about dividing the Mount Kenya to have Mount Kenya East and the Mount Kenya West. When you look at the language of Mithika Rinturi, Kithure Kindiki is all about Mount Kenya East, is not about the larger Mount Kenya community, because they feel, and this is what they are positioning themselves, if the deputy president happens to run for presidency, he will take a deputy. That is what they are demanding. That is what is on the table, that they will be given the position of the running mate to deputize the deputy president. That means Justin Muturi can be the one, Kithure Kindiki, Mithika Rinturi, Kiraitu Murungi, all those guys who come from that region, they are positioning themselves as the running mate of any preferred presidential candidate, who to them, they will feel like he has what it takes to take the region to the next level. Okay. Therefore, their interests are different with the interests that we have in Mount Kenya Central. Because for us, we know the spokesperson that we have is President Uhuru Kenyatta. He is still in office. He is still doing his things, Miriam. And at the end of the time, President Uhuru Kenyatta has reiterated this, not once or twice, that when time comes, he will come to the ground as he did when he was taking votes, and will direct his people in the right direction. He will show us a person who will take the legacy that he has started to the next level, to take this country to a better position than what he would have left behind. Therefore, Miriam, these are forces that are playing out, and I know at the end of the day, Miriam, everything will be set to light, and people will see where we are heading with these coronations. And Miriam, this is not the first or the last coronation. others will be coronated. You have heard the deputy president is going to the churches to be coronated there. I don't know how they'll do that. But Miriam, when you look at this issue keenly, Justin Muturi, for me, I don't say that he is working with the deputy president, but he is positioning himself to any other preferred presidential candidate.
Would you say then that the Tanga faction are now taking advantage of this rift that has been created now to look as if they're supporting the Speaker of the Assembly, because they're saying should this motion be brought to Parliament, they will support a Speaker to stay put as the Speaker of the National Assembly. They will not be supporting his removal. Are they taking advantage?
Yeah, exactly, Miriam. And that is what the deputy president has been working for. That is why he has been dividing Mount Kenya region, to ensure that we have a crack, so that, Miriam, he can take one block and run with it as a stronghold, Miriam, and the other maybe remaining block to subdivide it. And Miriam, when you look at the Mount Kenya East, you'll see them, they are one block. But when you come to central Mount Kenya region, Miriam, people are subdivided into small groups. We have the Kiambu with Moses Kuria, we have Nyeri with Rigathi Gachagua, we have Nyandarua with Faith Gitau. But when you go to Mount Kenya East, Miriam, they don't subdivide themselves. Therefore, he is willing to work with Mount Kenya East rather than working with the central Kikuyus, who are quite not trusted when it comes to giving power to another person. Therefore, Miriam, on that, I beg to submit that Muturi is working to ensure, and he have said it, Miriam. I saw on the media yesterday, the other day, he's saying that he is aiming a higher position than that of a speaker. Therefore, that means is either deputy president or president of this country.
But,
thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And I think this goes down to what Dr. Matsanga said
Miriam.
earlier there.
Miriam.
Yes.
My sister.
Doctor,
we forget so easily.
It's ill-timed. What you said there earlier, Doctor.
Yes.
This whole thing was
I
bad
told
timing.
I told you. We forget so easily. On this show, Miriam, we discussed Franz Fenonis Fiore. Didn't we? Mr. Douglas, I can see you shaking your head when Karanja is saying, and I can see Karanja shaking his head. No. He has achieved it. I told you. Am I not political genius? Give me a credit, Jamen. Niliwaambia kwa show hii yenyewe. I wish you were listening. Onyali was listening. I told you go and read the book, The Wretched of Earth, of Fenon Fans. Ruto knew that if we left Mount, the great Central and Mount Kenya vote intact, he would lose. He would lose flat out. He would lose on the same, by 12 noon, he would lose. So what he has embarked on is to divide this mountain and the Central Kenya. He has gone in Kiambu. He has divided Kiambu in the middle. He has gone to Nyandarua in the middle. He has tried Nyeri. There is a fight there because Nyeri people don't take nonsense. They don't take nonsense. He has now arrived in Meru here, Tarakaniti, where this guy is, my MCA man here. He has finished them. That's the same tactic that Ruto used in Western. He went and divided Wetangula versus Mudavadi versus Speaker Lusaka versus Wamarwa, and brought in some people, some younger, some, you know, and it backfired. He has now withdrawn. It has backfired because we lawyers and them, we have a problem. He knows. He knows it has backfired. He knows that the lawyers will leave him empty, naked, and they will go with somebody. The lawyers naturally in Kenya and the voting pattern of the lawyer community, they have been going with Raila. The voting pattern in Uganda, the lawyers have been going with Obote. We vote with, no, it is true. We tend to vote Luos. My tribe, we don't vote, we have not voted anybody from Buganda region. Walaya Mungu. I'm now telling you. The first time we voted someone from Buganda region is this year, when we decided to give that small younger boy a vote. That boy there. No? We decided to say, because of annoyance, I did not want a yellow flag to be put on my father's grave. Because I wanted a red flag. I am a member of Uganda People's Congress. Nataka msikie hiyo. Hata kama mnakuja for my burial, mnajua hiyo. I'll die Obote, go with Obote and find him that I brought your flag. I did not betray you like your child. Your son betrayed you. But me, Matsanga, I will not betray my party, which I entered in 1968. I became a member of Uganda People's Congress in 1968. And that's the end. Whether it remains with a building, I will be the one sitting on top of the building. Meskia hiyo. So, the Luo people all the time in these countries, we vote with the Luo people. Eastern will vote. People are making noise here. Why are they now asking Raila, kupatie kitu kidogo? Because then they don't know how to marshal the president to come to their place. Raila knows how to marshal the president to arrive there. Umeona complain hapa. They are complaining that we are now getting nothing, but we gave him the vote. Then it means you don't have the capability to lead. If Raila can marshal the president to go there, then it means Raila is the kingmaker of the Western province. Mudavadi is just a man, a beggar who begs handouts. Nipatie pesa, hakuna pesa za kufanya kampeni. Wala maajabu, wala jabu, wala lalai ya Mungu, walai, hala, siasa gani. So, in a nutshell, medium time is going. In a nutshell, the wretched of us. Read it again, Karanja, today. And the two of you come back tomorrow with smiling faces. If you know that the strategy that Ruto is using, you will come back smiling here. I am telling you, Miriam, now, at the moment, if you put Douglas and the Karanja in one room, conference room, watachapana, they will fight. You know, this thing of Mukuru, where it has divided them. I told you, and that is Ruto's strategy. Ruto has gone to Kiambu. He has divided it. Kiamba, he's dividing. Ruto. Is Ruto dividing? He's fighting Uhuru every minute. And when we fight him, he complains. But we are about to fight. We are about, just about. We have not started. About. When the fight starts, when it starts, this is when Ruto will know that Uhuru has friends and strategists. Already on the social media, they are dry. They have no content. Am I wrong, Tawish? Am I wrong? On the social media, right. Karanja, Jared, they have no content. They are zero. They can't write. There is nothing they write. They only come to insult Miriam. Oh, you are hippo. You are what? They don't have content. Lakini wacha sasa turudi kwa mtu. They are gonna run. Then stretch them for another 1 year for their campaign. They will run out of steam. Don't you see that coming? You want a president to appoint rogue terrorists. How? So let him go back to clean. We can as well right now say, okay, let's appoint the 6 judges. It is not very difficult for the president to do that. We can appoint them. Then tomorrow, we ask for 4 billion shillings to remove them. Mnafikiri tunalala hata sisi. Tunapigana macho kwa macho, Mungu. It is you go there, we go there. So ndio mnitaka namna hivyo. If you want, okay, the president can reappoint, can do the judges medium. Then after 1 week, we go for petition to JSC. We want a tribunal. 6 tribunals. 6 tribunals. Niambie, when will the 6 tribunals finish? You can as well say bye-bye. Because once you are under tribunal, you are out of office until 2024. Is there a time limit for the tribunal to bring the tribunal can bring, and the president might not consent, might take time to consent? Isn't it, Onyari? So you look at the cost of appointing 6 tribunals. And the haggling over the names. Haggling over the names. Who should be on the tribunal? This is biased. This is what? So these are some of the things that you Kenyans should look at. Miriam, look at these things. Mm-hmm. Already on the panel here, I can see fireworks. You know? The fireworks has come on the panel. Yeah. Karanja is not going to budge when Douglas says we in the East. But Karanja said we in the West. No, Karanja is in the West. So Ruto has set up a program to disintegrate this state. And if you are not careful, yesterday we are lamenting here over Nigeria. Do you see the Nigeria here coming? Ruto has picked out the fury of Dr. David Ndii. He said he's even going further to say coronation in the church. As a church in there or a church mouse? Mm-hmm.
He's calling it the Holy Spirit Coronation Drive.
A Holy Spirit is on in church in the Mount East. Why don't you coronate in Tarubo? Go and put up a church in Tarubo and coronate first. Well. Wacha tuanze tupate coronation yuko. Watu watakimbia na tear gas. Yeah, look, time has come. President has asserted power. This guy is disintegrating this state, Jamen. Munaona hii bitu. These things Kenyans, you people, younger people, look at this medium, you are Kenyans. This state is slowly moving towards Nigerian style. If I'm not, honestly, we are slowly moving there. We are not moving at the pace of Nigeria. Because Nigeria, they are terrorists grabbing power. But in Kenya, they are malcontents and the mafia grabbing power. The comparative politics, look at that. In Nigeria, terrorism is grabbing power. Fear is grabbing power. Here, Ruto is using Stockholm syndrome to grab power. If you don't elect me, you hustlers will suffer. Uhuru has taken everything. Moi has taken. Raila is a dynasty. All the Mudavadi is a dynasty. Have you seen? That is gravitating towards a disintegration. If you don't bring the state together and say, enough is enough, let's have a free and a fair. So if you fragment people, some of them are being coronated in churches. Some of them are being coronated in shrines. And the shrine owners go the following morning to cleanse it. So you have bad omen where you are with that thing on top of you. Isn't it? Now we have the speaker with the demons Can you see that, Mr. Karanja?
Perhaps.
Because you went and removed, you cleansed. Cleansing is very dangerous.
They sanitized.
Yeah, it's sanitized, not sanitized. Sanitizing is very good, Miriam.
So what they are saying is Speaker Muturi soiled that place, essentially.
Yes, he spoiled the place. The other group is saying, aliharibu our tree. Hawa kina nani, wakina Douglas waliharibu tree yetu. Alikuja kutoka east, anaharibu tree yetu. Have you seen that? That's what Douglas is not telling Karanja, but he has it in the head. Karanja is not telling Douglas. But when they meet outside there, they are going to call each other and said, where were you? I had their conversation. They don't know, I listened to their phones. I had their conversation. They were arguing over this the whole night. You couldn't get the end of them online. Because they have been fighting. So don't go back and read this book, The Wretched of Us. Then you come back tomorrow. Think nicely. Jamen, you are all like you.
Miriam, I want
some
my inputs.
Yes, and just before you say something now, this is what Susan Kihika said. They have picked their kingpins from the bushes, and we will pick ours from the altar of God. So, of course, they're planning a series of coronation for the deputy president, and they're calling it the Holy Spirit Confederation.
That will nearly take it.
Miriam, what Muturi did at the shrines of the caves in Kirinyaga, is it Kuyanga or Muranga? Is lawful, is constitutional, and Article 2 of the Kenyan Constitution is very clear, Miriam. Is it Article 2? Yes, it's very clear when it comes to culture. And Miriam, this is a conversation which is going on, and those who are underrating Muturi, they will be shocked, Miriam. Those who are trying to say that power is not given, power you go for it. That's the power I know. And this conversation, Miriam, I think you are giving marriage to Dr. William Samoei Ruto is not part of it. I can tell you for sure, and I can forge you for that. The president started a conversation that if these people start with all the narratives, it is also high time this thing goes the rest of the country. He started these things when we were sending off Mama Anna Mudavadi. And he has told the Karanjas on the face, you know, Karanja, you are a young man and you need to be very progressive. What Dr. Masanka is trying to tell you that these people from Mount Kenya East, they have helped you. If they get out of if they leave you alone, you will be nobody. You will just find yourself isolated. I can tell you for sure. What am I trying to make this? The president has given a conversation. It is high time that this thing goes to Mount Kenya East. Miriam, democracy and good governance is about sharing positions and sharing resources. So we are proceeding to go to Mount Kenya. Then you come to Mount Kenya, Karanja. We are not making the spokesman of the region. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, those who are saying that he will still be the spokesman. He is going to retire. He is not going to be active in politics. He will be having an advisory role. Because at that part, because even the act outlaws him to be active in politics. Moi tried, but when the law was in place, Moi had to go and rest. You see how Kibaki has kept quiet. So President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is retiring. We have got 13 months to the general elections. Those who are saying that you can impeach Muturi, bring it on. Impeach him. Muturi is focused. He's going for the rest of this country. So he can't wait until we. Listen, I'm building my case.
Okay. Let me wait. Don't fall a victim of these numbers, one. Numbers are very dangerous in that parliament. I was only giving you an interjection.
Prof, continue.
No, listen to me. You are talking about. The Kenya West have got no choice. Haven't you said, Dr. Masanga, in your own words, that the Kikuyus and the Karenchis should forget about the leaders of this country? Haven't you said that? This is the conversation which has come at their doorsteps. It is either they go to Muturi and Raila Amolo Odinga, or they forget about it. That's the possibility I'm trying to tell you. Listen to what the cousin of Uhuru has said, Muigai. I know Muigai is somebody. That's Uhuru speaking. You don't need to hear Uhuru speak. From anywhere to give them the person. So, and let me tell you today, Dr. Masanga, that the people from the center of this, Dr. Masanga, you cannot buy an elephant with the tusk. You have to remove. These people are removing the task from William Ruto. When time comes, Dr. Masanga, you are going to watch this space. So let us proceed. We are going to notch high. We are going to make Muturi the spokesman of Mount Kenya, where we are going to the mountain, the caves of the mountain now. We will go right away now into Mount Kenya. So what Muturi has done is lawful, is the constitution. They are promoting, and in any event, Miriam, how would President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who was retired from active politics, come to negotiate for the region? Because let us not run away from the politics of this country. We are tribal. And for the time being, until we fix it through the BBI, that's how it is going to be. Okay. So to me, from what I'm trying to say, the people, the Karancha and the Chavan, you negotiate very silently. You scratch my back, I scratch for you. Chavan, this is the time for us to scratch the back of Douglas, whether you are going to be in power or not in power. And we'll move forward. Douglas. I submit Dr. Masanga, now take me on.
Douglas had something. I rejoined there.
Yes.
Why me to take you on? And Miriam has no time. She has to leave. We have to prepare. Otherwise, I'll take you on one thing.
No, we can do just a quick round. Maybe Douglas and then Javan, I'm sure we want to say something.
I have something to add, Miriam.
Yes.
To add it to which side?
The national side. The national side.
I have two issues on this. Dr. Masanga said it very clearly that William Ruto has been able to get everywhere. Actually, we are having a problem in our ward today because William Ruto has even come there to embarrass the president. And also, you need to get it. Muturi has been appointed as a spokesperson of Mount Kenya region. And the people from the West don't want that. That is where I have a contention because you have supported them for so far too long. But Muturi is not even the ideal candidate for Mount Kenya East at this point, Miriam, because this man is working with William Ruto. Until Muturi denounces William Ruto and his surrogates, like Mudhomi Njuki of Tharaka Nithi, the corrupt governor of Tharaka Nithi, and also the chairman of Council of Governors, Martin Wambora. These are corrupt individuals who are corresponding around William Ruto and making Muturi look bad. If Muturi is as green as he purports to be, he needs to denounce William Ruto, Miriam, because we cannot allow William Ruto to disintegrate Mount Kenya region using Muturi himself. And Muturi, like Dr. Masanga said, he should stick to National Assembly as the third in command. And if it is not so, he should resign as the National Assembly Speaker and come for the village spokesperson in Mount Kenya. But we don't want William Ruto to come using Muturi as a dividing force. I will not be true to my heart. I've always accused William Ruto of corruption, disintegration of the country, and the disunity that we experience as a country. This is a political conman, an hybrid economic thug who has infiltrated Mount Kenya region using Muturi. If Muturi wants us to recognize him as the people from the East, he should be able to now come out clearly and denounce corruption, economic bandits who are around Tanga. We cannot support Muturi at the same time he's supporting William Ruto. I would be eating my words, Miriam, and I don't mince my words. I'm going to die the same man with the same stand that I have had against William Ruto. Because, Miriam, we cannot let Mount Kenya go the way it is going. Right. I have heard Jevan Karaja say that we, the people of Mount Kenya East, want William Ruto to be president. We don't want William Ruto to become president. It is Muturi and chairman of Council of Governors, Wambora, and a few others, like Kiraito Murungi, who has eaten Meru County, everything that is innate, Miriam. We don't want William Ruto to become president. Muturi must first denounce William Ruto. If he doesn't denounce William Ruto, we have no business with Muturi. He can as well retire to his Chicago home. We have no business with Muturi as long as he's working with William Ruto.
Okay.
That is our enemy number one, who has eaten development projects in Mount Kenya region using Mithika Rinturi and his wife's company, the Articoin Construction, Miriam.
Right.
I wanted to make that clear. I have no association with William Ruto, even in future, Miriam.
That is very clear. Since we brought in Javan's name so much, I think it will only be right if Javan would have a rejoinder there, Javan. Just shortly.
Thank you very much, Miriam. And Miriam, you know, I've said this thing severally here, that as Mount Kenya region, because now it seems that now you're discussing Mount Kenya politics, we have different interests, Miriam. The people of Mount Kenya East, Miriam, they are saying that they have helped the people of Mount Kenya region and it's time to support them. We have no problem with that, Miriam. But my conversation is, this position of presidency should not be revolving around Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. It is high time that we move from this Gema community being in the top leadership and we go for somebody else. And that is not William Ruto. For me, you know my stand. Dr. Masanga knows my preferred presidential candidate. Therefore, when you look at this issue, Miriam, I'm not on these small divisions, Miriam. I'm for a national conversation where we'll take this presidency, Miriam, and we revolve around every part of this country so that Kenyans will feel like they are part of this, all Kenyans will feel included in the government. And Professor Onyari is repeating these things severally here, that Justin Muturi comes from a minority tribe. But the unfortunate thing, he comes from a minority tribe that is in Mount Kenya region. We don't want that. We can take a minority tribe to position of leadership, to presidency, but provided he is not from Mount Kenya region. They have enjoyed the presidency for too far so long. Therefore, we need somebody else, whether it's a Kisii, whether it's a Borana, but not from Mount Kenya region. Let other Kenyans feel the warmth of the presidency coming from their region. That is, to me, is what matters a lot. It's not about this small division, but for a fact, I agree with Dr. Masanga 100%. Dr. William Ruto has achieved in dividing Mount Kenya region.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, Javan has elevated that conversation to a national one. Anasema hiyo ya kijiji huko ya Taki.
And I think, if you allow me, I think, I honestly think that is the conversation we should have as a people of Kenya. That we need to move this conversation from being that of a village, from that of being of a county or a province or a mountain to the larger Kenyan nation. And I think it's a very good and candid conversation that as Kenyans we should always have. Because again, when you talk about leadership, when you talk about people of Mount Kenya, even fighting within their own setup, within their own house, what will other people like myself, for example, who come from the farthest side of Kilgoris in Narok counties talk about when we've never had a single person, even as a presidential candidate, as having been voted as a president in this republic? We had Professor James Ole Kiapi who attempted, but I think he got a paltry how many votes, not even 10,000 votes for your information. So I think we need to move this conversation to become national, like what my other brother said, and not necessarily look into politics from our tribal lenses, that maybe it is time about my own community. We need to look into people objectively. Is this person of competence? Is this person of integrity? Is this person capable of steering the ship that is Kenya to the next level? I think that is where we need to have this conversation, and not necessarily where this person really comes from. And even if the person will still come from Mount Kenya, as long as they fit the bill, what is the problem? I submit, Miriam.
All right. Thank you so much. And when you talk about looking at a person objectively, I think majority of the tribes in this country are able to do that, but it's only a few, that will include my tribe, who have this problem of, objectivity when it comes to how they choose their leadership. And that is unfortunate, because Maasais have voted for another candidate for a long time who is not a Maasai, even when the former CS stood. Not even the
Professor James Ole Kiapi.
Very few Maasais voted for him, but others voted for the former Prime Minister, and others President Kenyatta. So we cannot balkanize all Kenyans. I think this is a problem with a few tribes in this country, and I think mine also is in there.
Miriam.
Yes.
Miriam. I hope Douglas is listening to me, Karanja, and Professor Onyari. Professor Onyari, you have just thrown fuel in a fire. Please, guide us properly. The whole of this thing is well planned. I heard you say that Captain somebody was speaking on behalf of Kenyatta. I wish it was not on this public address. I will tell you what exactly is there. But let me tell you, East, you can argue until the cows come back and they say we have drunk enough water. Masai is no. The cows, when they have drunk enough water, they don't lose the path back to the house. One of the most craftiest politicians that Kenya has is Ruto, William Samoei Ruto. He has finished, you know, don't you see the problem? No, here are people who have gone to school. Look at them. This one is a schooler, this one is a schooler. Onyali is the professor. Finished. We are done. Tuko finished. In fact, we have fallen already. 3 professors' position is paraffin. Aliweka paraffin kondani. Then see who comes out. Professor in Nyamira is stable. He knows exactly what he wants in Nyamira. And a professor in Nyamira, give it or not, Raila will pass. You know that very well. So what William Ruto has done, has avoided Nyamira. He has avoided Nyamira. He tried Kisii. He's slowly withdrawing from there because he knows the whole of that region. People still love Raila. What he needs part of this vote so that Raila does not get this vote of Mount Kenya. Because whoever is going to leave the presidency is firmly in the handshake. I swear, he is firmly in the handshake. If you want to disagree with Uhuru Kenyatta, go under dismantle the handshake. He will not call you for tea in that house again. I'm now telling you, Onyari, you will not even, in fact, your name cannot be mentioned where his functions are. Go and say, you hate the handshake. You are done. Finito. Finito. Didn't you see the body language of the president in Nyanza? Didn't you see? Is it the body language he uses in Mount Kenya? Is it the body language? Is he more relaxed? Where is he more relaxed? Where was the president more relaxed?
Yes.
Where is Karanja? Open up your machine. Where is the president more relaxed?
Yes.
Open up your video to Kuone. Where is the president more relaxed? You know
Yes.
very well. I know him very well for all this time. He's more relaxed in Nyanza.
Yes.
He was more freer in Kisumu, in State House. You saw the way functions were going. He was more freer than you people,
Fish.
than here, than these 2 guys, saying we have been marginalized for a long time. But, you know, the other one is that you have to come carefully. You know, the president is, when he comes back to Central, he becomes more of a traumatized man. Did you know that? When he goes to Kisumu, he's more flexible. When he goes to Mombasa, he's again very flexible. Haven't you noticed that? You look at the pattern of politics. Look at that body language. I swear, the candidate is going to come from the handshake. You can disagree until Angel Gabriel. The candidate is from the handshake. The rest, Wakina Mudavadi, first of all, Mudavadi doesn't even have the money to run a campaign. Where will he get it? He's trying to go to Ruto's wedding, you know, so that wamgawie kitu kidogo. You know, you have literally not seen a man begging. but hide in a corner and hear. The PS hearing, oh, Mzee, I think you lend me something. Then this is the type of life we have in Ruya. If it is not George Soros' money, why did the Muruka run away? Isn't it Okoro? Why did Eruaro? Aha! That's the man's name I was looking for. Eruaro. Is Eruaro not from Kisumu? From Siaya?
It's called Eliud Owalo.
Eliud Eruaro. Is he not from those areas? Why did they run away? They saw the cash coming, but they don't see it. So there is no cash. There is nobody here. Jameni, muache. Hakuna mtu hapo Western anaweza ku oppose the enigma of Siaya, of the Luo politics, of Kenya politics. Uhuru ameshaweka his support behind, and jua hii leo behind, and I tell you now today, you try to talk against the BBI, hata judge gani utaenda. Jaribu, tutachukua miaka 2 bado tunafanya. Sikiliza kwanza, tutachukua miaka 2 bado tunafanya application ya judges yao 6. Haven't you seen that coming, Mr. Onyari? That you have put an application, you want this one is appointed. If the other one took 2 years, what about this one? So this one, look, Miriam, let's finish this in the summary. If you look here, Mama, if I were a judge who was rejected, there is lecturing in law school, there's practicing back in my chamber. I would just pack the few things, ask for my salary in advance. They pay retirement benefit. I go. You think there's anybody going to go through to Oduka for judgment? Can't you see the logic behind it? It's to embarrass. You have been embarrassed. You have been told you are not worth it. Kwisha. So what you do, unarudi huko unataka kukaa kwa koti, I am sentencing you to life. Huyo the man you are sentencing to life, you say, wewe, you are sentencing me to life, you are also a thief.
You are like me.
Yes, these judges are finished, Miriam. Now, haven't you seen the strategy? It has worked. The only thing that the JSC can do now is to ask for these files and rescue themselves and start looking at file by file. Now I can officially tell you, Miriam, that the files were given to the chairman of JSC, who was the chairperson. Who was the chairperson?
Justice.
The National Intelligence, the president. The president delivered the intel to Mr. Maraga. File 6, anamwambia wewe, unataka mimi kuappoint these guys. Please, these are copies and a soma. Now I want to tell you, friend, on that point, on a serious note, what Maraga did, because Maraga had a fight with who? It is minted. The State House doesn't lie. When they dispatch their documents, they don't lie. Do they lie, Miriam? They will not lie.
No.
They will not lie. They gave the CJ the documents to read the documents, the data on the judges that they have brought. That is, Maraga did not want. Maraga now, after receiving those judges, those files, he saw that the cream of his people, that he were there, whom Mutunga had already analyzed, that there are men on the bench whose wives' accounts are very fat. Have you seen? Mutunga left a report, a damning report in black and white, intelligence damning report. You know, Mutunga is the foundation, the other foundation in the US. You know, the other foundation second to George Soros. What is it called? Ford Foundation.
Ford Foundation.
Yes,
Foundation.
He wrote a very good report. Maybe I'll send you a copy quietly. He said there are people there whose accounts are fat. There is no judiciary. So whom do you blame? Uhuru gets this report, gives to Maraga. Maraga, as the chair of JSC, did not share them. You remember Maraga refused totally for the DCJ to be taken to take a plea. You remember? He refused. He appointed a 5-man judge to determine whether he takes a plea or not. Yet a plea can be taken even if you're a judge. You can take a plea. But they now sent the plea back to where? To JSC. So in summary, Miriam, it is impossible for a judge who has been rejected to come back in the High Court and make any judgment. It is a shame. 2, we had our topic, which we haven't touched, but it doesn't need to be touched. We have touched it somehow. I just want to say something, and Karanja wants to say something. I can see you have been knocking your head for the last 10 minutes. I don't want your head to burst, so we shall give you Karanja time. But let me say something on the topic. Just 1 minute. President Uhuru Kenyatta is not a ceremonial president. An executive president who has the powers to sign documents has to peruse the documents. And therefore, that's why the president takes an assent. Why then did the framers of this constitution, Miriam, say that the president can assent to the bill? Why then do judges interpret those bills? I leave it to you for further. Have you got my argument? The president is the one who signs the bill into law. The judges interpret the bill, sentence people according to the president's signature. But the president at times can refuse to assent. Are you getting the reasoning? Can refuse to assent and return the bill to Parliament. What is superior here? Quick one. What is superior? Is it the bill or the judges? Isn't it the Parliament that formulates the law that appoints the judges? Isn't it?
It is the bill which is superior, the law which is superior.
Thank you. I rest my case. I don't have anything much. I don't think Professor will argue with me on this one. If the bill is higher and it has more voltage than the appointment of judges, who are going to interpret the president's bill, which he has refused to assent to, and sends it until they correct the language. So what is superior here? The bill is superior than the judge. So the president can look also through the judge. The Constitution says shall, but you can't shall. What about if you sign a terrorist? Then the country comes back and says, how did you sign a terrorist? Yes, we have a doctor one doctor here can clear you and say, Onyali, your stomach is very well, doing very well. You go to a next hospital, the doctor says, no, there are some bacteria on the stomach. Am I wrong? Convey the names. While they are being conveyed, Professor, they could be contaminated. between JSC and the State House, there is an agency that makes sure before the president signs, there is no contamination, no germs. And that agency discovered the JSC had not followed their advice on the germs. And the agency came up and said, no, these ones cannot. One is wanted by, 2 of them are wanted by the FBI. This one, the account, the wife has plenty of money. This one, blah, blah, all these things are there. And very soon Kenyans are going to read them. So the president of Kenya is not ceremonial. The president of Kenya is executive. The Queen of England is both ceremonial and executive. Mark it. She can refuse to assent to a bill. It will collapse. She also acts as a ceremonial head of state for 54 countries, including her own country. But she can, the Queen, if you go to the Queen to ask, that's why in London is Commonwealth law. The Prime Minister has to go to the Queen to ask, I have got 80% of the total vote of Kenya, of British people. The British have
Right, we seem to have suffered a bit of a technical hitch from Doctor's side, but we were coming to the end of the show this morning. Thank you so much for watching. We shall be back here at 11 a.m.
Sorry, Boris Johnson goes to the Queen, despite the fact that he got his 80% vote, where no cheating, no rigging, but still has to make that journey between 10 Downing Street and the Birmingham Palace. You have to make that journey. And that journey, the Queen could say, who are you? You have won the vote, but you seem to be a thief. I'm not giving you permission to make the government. And that could cause another election. Umeona is silent. Britain has no constitution, but they use norms. But it is the law we picked from them, and we are using it here in London, in Kenya. It's Commonwealth law. So the president has got a role, even if you convey him an envelope, and I said this envelope is sealed. The only envelope that the president of Kenya did not see, even in the envelope of Waki, I am sure the president of that time saw the envelope, saw the names. Sindio Mama, don't tell me Kibaki did not see the names. It's a lie. Because Waki would be arrested that night. If you have not given us the names, we arrest you. Who appointed you? It is Uhuru. It is Kibaki. People must have seen the names. But now that remains. That's why you see there is something that is coming back. Have you seen where Kibaki's son supports who? Where does he stand? So I don't want to discuss that, Onyali. Leave it to God and God to ourselves. Have you ever been to Netherlands? Yes. God is for all of us, for you. Not God is not for every, is for you. Mm-hmm. When Miriam is praying that, he pray for me and Matanga. She prays for herself first, then she says, I also want to pray for my friend Matanga. He's a sinner. All of us are sinners. Is there anybody here who is not a sinner? Karanja is a sinner. I'm a sinner. Onyari is a sinner. All of us are sinners. Before God, we are sinners until the judgment arrives. That's why the Ugandan song of there is nobody who is not a sinner in this world until we are judged by God. I rest my case this morning.
All right.
And thank you very much, Miriam, for the patience. We'll see each other at 11 o'clock in the morning, at top of the hour. And Douglas, that is your favorite zone. I hope you will get off. Karanja has deepened your thoughts this morning, but you go back to the telephone because your telephones last night were working so hard between you and the Karanja. I don't know what you were discussing, but something very important. Don't dampen your heart. Cheer up, my son. Muturi might become the savior. So thank you very much. God bless you. God bless all of you. And that's all I can say, William.
All right. Thank you. We'll be back here at 11. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.